sort of what the cart's going to look like. It's going to be about yay high, and about this, it's going to be able to fit through a door, so we're limited to 30 inches. And then it's going to be about 48 inches long.
Okay.
And it's going to have a handle on it, it's going to have wheels, and you're going to be able to roll this thing around. So this top part here, she wants a marquee on both sides, and a streaming marquee.
Okay.
So she wants to say, buy Apple computer, you know, whatever. Okay, and now she also wants to be able to walk up to it with a smartphone and change the message with a smartphone. And now also she wants to be able to have an access door on this that has some kind of a keypad or touch screen where you can go, if you don't have a smartphone, you can go in and open up this panel and do it inside. Yeah. Manually, okay? So secondly, she wants a video screen on the front of this thing that's going to be probably a video of some kind of water story that says what the car did and what it did. I don't know what she's going to put on it. Okay. But anyway, we need a video screen that's going to be somewhere, I don't know, 9 inches or so, you know. And she wants a GPS on it. She wants it to locate itself and go back to her, I guess, or whoever buys these. Some operator might buy this thing, and it'll tell her where it's at. This is cart number 24, and I'm in Chicago, Illinois, at Shea Stadium. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Now also, this is going to have 2 vents on it, and 2 little things that you push a bottle or a glass in, and it's going to vent the water. There will be 2 independent ones. So she wants to count 2 things. She wants to count the number of vents, regardless of how much it vents. Just when somebody pushes it, that's a vent. Secondly, she wants to know how much did it vent. How many ounces? So we'll need a flow sensor in there that counts the ounces. And then, when it reaches 16 ounces, she wants a little blurb to come up on this screen that says, you just saved the bottle from the landfill. Okay? You understand? She wants that to pop up on the little video screen and says, you just saved the bottle, or I don't know how she's going to word it, but so every time it vents 16 ounces, that's going to pop up on the screen. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what's Bluetooth. I'm not real. I know what Bluetooth does, but I don't know how it interfaces here. She said we want.
Well, if you want to be able to use a phone to read you that message.
So you've got to have Bluetooth to do that? Is that what it is?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. So then we'll need to have that somehow. Now, I'm sure she's going to, each one of these cards, I'm going to take a guess and say that she probably has to subscribe to some like Verizon or something, right, to the internet and pay a fee every month. Does that make sense?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the rest of the parameters like Wi-Fi and I mean GPS is on your phone or your iPad. So
right.
You're going to interface a lot of those parameters.
Yeah, you're going to pay someone to relay that message for you.
Right.
All be wrapped in one package.
So, and everything needs to run on batteries. So there's a place on this cart, there's a shelf on the back here where we're going to put batteries, and 12-volt batteries, and she wants it to be autonomous. In other words, if she puts it in a place where there's no 110, it will be able to run on batteries. Now, we have not determined the amount of power we need yet. We don't know that. We haven't. We're just now starting to identify the components. And we don't, there's a couple things we haven't identified yet, and we don't know how much power they're gonna take. So what we have to do is get batteries, and we need a 110 converter. That, and actually, we probably want to do the 100 to 240 volt thing, where no matter what you plug it into, it works. That's kind of how things work now. So we want to do that. And then we want to convert it to 12 volt. And of course, Wi-Fi, we've already talked about that. The touchscreen, we've talked about. The touchscreen is going to be inside somewhere, whereby again, they can open it up and they can change the parameters on the marquee.
Okay, so that, the touchscreen is not on this,
No,
but on
no,
something
that
else.
won't be a touchscreen. Now, picture this thing is going in a school where there's 4th and 5th graders. So
Okay,
just
gotcha.
think of what they're going to do to this machine.
Absolutely.
So anything that we can make like a tank, we're going to have to do that, because they will destroy things.
Sure.
So, and we're worried about a few things, but there's some things we can't solve. So, what the hell does that mean?
Time monitor, 4 days?
Oh, 4 days, okay. If somebody fills this thing up with water, and it sets for 4 days without a vent, then we want to send a signal or somehow determine that the water's no good.
So start a count at the end of each day.
Start a count, yeah,
Get
at
an
the
alarm
end of
at
4 days that it's not been used, then we want to send some kind of signal, or maybe flash it on the marquee or something that says change tank or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to send a time signal. And we're thinking about putting a temperature sensor, ambient temperature sensor, somewhere in the unit. So in fact, if somebody puts it in cold storage or something, and we probably want a parameter of somewhere between 35 degrees and 110 degrees. If it exceeds that, it sends some kind of signal that says we've exceeded the low temperature, we've exceeded the high temperature.
Exceeded, okay.
Now the other thing, we're going to have an ultraviolet light in there. That by law, you have to have that. That's the last thing the water sees before it comes out the nozzle. That's a regulation we have to meet. And they make a sensor that actually senses the UV intensity in nanometers. So now, we haven't found that yet. They make them, but we need to make sure it interfaces with what we're doing, and that we're going to be able to screw it into the UV. So we want to have a place in there where we can send, and I don't know what signal it sends yet. We haven't got that information. I don't know if it's a contact closure or if it's a 4 to 20 or what it does. But it does something when this thing operates at like 254 nanometers, and if it goes out of whack, this thing does something. I'm not sure what it does yet. But we want to put a provision in there, so when we find the UV sensor, you want to be able to send that signal that says the UV is out.
Okay.
And we're going to have 3 filters on there. We want to put a DP sensor, a delta P, a differential pressure
Across each
sensor,
filter.
that says, we'll probably set it at like 7 psi. So if the DP reaches 7, then it will send a signal that says time to change your filters. Okay, autofill is a little complicated, and basically what we're going to do here is, there's a lot of junk here, but the tank is going to look something like this, and it's going to be a 50-gallon tank. And we need to somehow sense, if this is 0 and this is 50 gallons, we need some kind of a sensor in here that sends some kind of a signal that says I'm at 0 or I'm full, or if you pull it up, I'm at 22 gallons, I've got 8 gallons, I've got whatever left. So some kind of a sensor that does that.
A high-low level.
Yeah, I've always done this mechanically, so I know how to do it mechanically, but I don't know how to do it electronically. I know there are switches, and they use radar actually, I think. And they,
Ultrasonic.
ultrasonic, yeah. So we're going to need a sensor that tells us the condition of this tank, and also she needs to be able to pull that up. For instance, if she gets on her computer and says cart number 24, what's your status? And it says, okay, my filters are at 2 psi, my tank's got 20 gallons in it, and so on. Okay, my temperature is 68 degrees, or, you know. So we got to read those parameters. Now the flow sensor, we sort of talked about that, but the flow sensor basically...
So wait, is the autofill and the tank level the same thing?
Yeah, autofill
Okay.
tank level, same thing.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's not. Excuse me, it's not. The autofill is this. We're going to have a quick disconnect with the garden hose, just a 3/4 garden hose fitting.